Picture the moment. Grid down. Water stops. Stores empty in 6 hours. Your family's looking at you for answers. Your brother with MS who needs refrigerated medication. Your mother who can't walk without her walker. Your father with advancing dementia who wanders at night. Your sister's husband who just had back surgery. Your wife's parents visiting from out of state. 9 mouths. 5 days of food. 2 functioning adults, including you. Do the math. Actually do it. 9 into 5. Someone's dying by day 3. Maybe 3 someones. The 90% will group hug their way to a mass grave because they can't speak the words. We can't save everyone. The 10% have already drawn 3 circles on paper. Inner circle, who lives? Middle circle, who might live? Outer circle, who dies first? That's not cruelty. That's clarity. Your love won't keep them alive. Your emotional weakness will kill them all. This conversation happens now, or your family dies badly. Together. Slowly. Let me tell you about the lie that's going to kill your family. 99% of families think they'd survive together. Beautiful sentiment. Fatal delusion. They sit around dinner tables right now, maybe like yours, believing love conquers logistics. That family bonds overcome resource mathematics, that somehow, when everything collapses, their special connection will generate calories from thin air and medicine from good intentions. Here's what actually happens. Day 1, everyone's unified. Day 3, Grandma's confused without her Alzheimer's medication. Day 5, your brother's insulin runs out. Day 7, your wife's anxiety medication is gone and she's having panic attacks every hour. Day 9, there's 1 can of soup and 6 people staring at it, and you're still pretending everyone's going to make it. The normalcy bias in family units is stronger than individual denial. It's compound delusion. Each person reinforces the other's fantasy that things will work out. Nobody wants to be the one who says what everyone's thinking, that Grandma's 82-year-old body burns through resources she can't replace, that your diabetic brother is already dead, his body just doesn't know it yet, that keeping everyone means losing everyone. You think your family is different. You think you've had hard conversations before. You haven't. You've discussed mortgages and college funds and who gets Grandpa's watch. You've never looked your wife in the eye and said, if we take your mother with us, our son dies by day 12. You've never calculated whether your sister's husband, who just had his 3rd back surgery, is worth the morphine he'll need. You've never assigned numerical values to the people you love. Here's the resource math you're avoiding. Average adult male, 2,500 calories per day for basic function. Under stress and movement, 3,500. Your mother, 73 years old with arthritis, contributes 0 calories, consumes 1,800. That's a 5,300 calorie daily deficit from just one person who can't pull their weight. Multiply that by every family member who's medical dependent, mobility limited, or psychologically fragile. The math is ruthless. 2,000 calories per person per day. 8 family members. 16,000 calories daily. Your emergency food supply, if you even have one, holds maybe 30,000 calories. Do the division. Less than 2 days for everyone. Stretch it to minimal survival rations of 800 calories each. You get 4 days. 4 days before you're making the same choice anyway, just weaker and more desperate. That's not cynicism. That's calculation. And if you can't do that calculation now, in comfort, with full bellies and clear heads, you'll never do it when your mother is crying and your brother is begging and your wife is saying, "We're family," like it's a magical incantation. The conversation you need isn't about feelings. It's about load limits, about triage, about accepting that love without logistics is just a prettier way to die, Map your family like a military unit. Not metaphorically, literally. Get a piece of paper right now. Draw columns: name, age, medical conditions, physical capability, cognitive reliability, resource consumption, potential contribution. This isn't cruel. This is clarity. And if you can't fill out this spreadsheet, you're already telling me who dies first. Everyone. Start with age brackets. Under 25, highest physical capability, fastest adaptation, best long-term investment. 25 to 45, peak operational window, established skills, reliable under pressure. 45 to 65, declining physical capacity, increasing medical needs, experience doesn't compensate for resource drain. Over 65, net negative in every survival equation. That's not ageism. That's actuarial science applied to apocalypse. Your 68-year-old father with type 2 diabetes and hypertension. Without metformin and lisinopril, he's dead in 3 weeks, maybe 4. Your 58-year-old brother, 340 pounds, sleep apnea, bad knees, can't walk 2 miles, can't carry supplies, needs a CPAP machine that requires electricity you won't have. Dead weight, literally. Your sister with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. Unpredictable capacity. Some days functional, most days not. That inconsistency is worse than permanent disability because you can't plan around it. Skills inventory. Real skills, not resume padding. Your accountant brother-in-law isn't valuable because he knows tax code. Can he wire a generator, set a broken bone, identify edible plants, purify water without modern filters? Your sister thinks she's useful because she's a yoga instructor. Flexibility doesn't generate calories. Mindfulness doesn't stop infection. What can each person actually do when there's no YouTube tutorial, no Google, no calling someone else? Dependency ratios are brutal mathematics. Every person who can't provide for themselves requires someone else's production. Your mother with osteoarthritis needs help with basic tasks. That's one productive person becoming half productive to maintain one non-productive person. Net result, negative 1.5 people worth of resources. Your brother's wife with severe anxiety disorder freezes under stress. Not just useless in crisis, actively dangerous. Panic is contagious. Frozen people get others killed. The cognitive capability question nobody wants to ask. Who keeps their head when neighbors are screaming? Who makes rational decisions with bodies in the street? Your uncle, who seems solid now but had that breakdown 5 years ago. Your cousin who drinks to manage stress. Your sister who needs Xanax to leave the house. These aren't personality quirks anymore. They're operational liabilities that multiply under extreme pressure. Here's your real family audit. How many can walk 20 miles carrying 40 pounds? How many can go 72 hours without prescription medication? How many can function on 1,200 calories per day? How many can watch someone die without becoming non-functional? How many would steal food from a stranger to feed your family? How many could watch you make the hard choice without undermining your decision? The answer changes everything about your survival plan. Because you're not planning for your family. You're planning for the 3 or 4 actual assets hidden inside your extended family of liabilities. Sunday afternoon, no distractions. TV off. Phones down. Everyone seated. You don't start with nuclear war. You don't start with collapse. You start with a question they can't dismiss. If I had a heart attack right now, what would you do? They'll answer. Call 911, drive to the hospital, CPR. Good. What if 911 didn't answer? What if the hospital was closed? What if it happened to all of us at once? That's your entry point. Not apocalypse, medical reality. Here's your script. Memorize it. We need to inventory our medical situations, Not for insurance, for planning. Pull out that spreadsheet you made. Make them watch you fill it in. Dad's metformin prescription, 30-day supply. Mom's blood pressure medication, 45 days if rationed. Brother's insulin, temperature sensitive, 14 days maximum. Each medication gets a number. Days until death without it. Say those words. Days until death. Not runs out, not needs refilling. Death. Make them acknowledge the timeline. Next conversation. Let's talk about movement scenarios. Not evacuation. Movement. If we had to walk 10 miles, who could do it? Wait for the uncomfortable silence. 20 miles. Watch them look at each other. Carrying supplies. Your mother touches her bad knee. Your brother shifts his weight. They're self-selecting. You're just documenting. So we'd need transportation for 3 people minimum. Not, we'll all ride together. Minimum. That word does the work. Food allocation is where they'll resist. Don't say rationing. Say extending supplies. Frame it as multiplication, not division. If we have food for 5 days, how do we make it last 10? Someone will say, eat less. How much less? Make them do the math. 2,000 calories becomes 1,000 becomes 500. Who can function on 500 calories? Nobody answers. So we need selection criteria for full rations versus half rations. Selection criteria. Not who deserves food. Criteria. The separation protocol breaks them. If we got separated, where do we meet? They'll name somewhere emotional. Your childhood home. Grandma's old house. What if it's gone? What if it's occupied? Force alternatives. We need 3 rally points, each farther from danger. Use GPS coordinates, not addresses. Make them write the numbers. Make them repeat them. If someone doesn't arrive in 72 hours, what do? They'll say, wait. With limited supplies? While exposed? Push until someone says it. We move on. Code phrases sound paranoid until they save lives. If I call and say, remember Dad's birthday party, that means evacuate immediately. Simple. Specific. Unmistakable. If I text, bring dinner, that means don't come home. It's compromised. They'll think you're crazy until they need the code. This conversation takes 2 hours. Most families won't last 10 minutes before someone cries or storms out. That's your answer. Those are the ones you leave behind. But some family members won't accept reality. They'll resist with patterns so predictable you can script the responses before they open their mouths. Let me map the resistance for you. Name the type. I'll give you the override. The it won't happen, uncle. Usually male, 45-65. Watches too much news, thinks he's informed. Nuclear war is just fear-mongering. Nobody's that stupid. Don't argue probability. Use his ego. You're right, it probably won't happen. But if it did, you're the only one smart enough to help me plan. Make him the expert. Let him think it's his idea. He'll engage to prove his competence. The God will provide grandmother. Faith as paralysis. If it's our time, it's our time. Counter with scripture, if you know it, pragmatism if you don't. God helps those who help themselves. Noah built the ark before the rain. Or simpler, fine, but I'm still making a plan. Will you at least listen? Religious resistors respond to duty. Make it about protecting the family God gave them. The anxiety-paralyzed sister. Can't handle the discussion. Shuts down, cries, leaves the room. Don't chase. Document her medications without her. Plan around her inability to plan. She's cargo, not crew. When she asks later what you discussed, give her one simple task. Just keep your prescriptions filled. Nothing more. She can't handle more. The aggressive denier brother. Gets angry when you bring it up. This is insane. You're paranoid. You need therapy. He's scared. Anger is fear wearing a costume. Don't engage the anger. Wait 48 hours. Send him a link about power grid vulnerabilities, then another about supply chain fragility. Drip feed reality. Let him come to you. When he does, never say you were right. Just start planning. Your wife who thinks you're destroying the family. You're scaring everyone. This isn't healthy. She's not wrong. It is scary. It isn't healthy. Neither is dying. Tell her you'll do the planning alone if she prefers. Create 2 folders. One she sees basic emergency supplies, reasonable preparations. One she doesn't. The real triage lists, the resource calculations, the selection protocols. Parallel planning. She gets plausible deniability. You get operational security. Here's what 90% of prepared people don't understand. Not everyone needs to accept the plan. They just need to follow it when the moment comes. Consensus is luxury. Compliance is necessity. In crisis, the scared follow anyone with certainty. Be certain. Information compartmentalization is survival. Your mother doesn't need to know she's Tier 3. Your brother doesn't need to know his medication isn't in the cache. Your sister doesn't need to know the rallying point she has isn't the real one. They get the information that keeps them calm and compliant. Some family members are already losses. Accept it now. The uncle who drinks a 5th of vodka daily isn't surviving withdrawal during collapse. Write him off. Plan without him. Draw 3 circles on paper. Right now. 3 concentric circles. This is your survival architecture. This is how you decide who lives. Inner circle. Core. Maximum 4 people, including you. These are the only people you're actually saving. Not hoping to save. Not trying to save. Actually saving. 4 is the operational maximum for resource sustainability with standard emergency supplies. 5 becomes unstable. 6 guarantees group failure. Your core gets full rations, full medical supplies, full protection. They're your survival unit. Who makes the core? You make the core. After that, 1 person with medical knowledge if possible. 1 person with mechanical skills. 1 person who can handle violence. That's not your wife because you love her. That's the person who increases group survival probability. If your wife is a nurse, she's core. If she's a marketing manager with anxiety disorder, she's not. Middle circle, extended. These people get resources if available. After the core is supplied, they're not dead, but they're not guaranteed life either. They get half rations, basic medical only. No antibiotics for non-fatal infections. No pain management beyond aspirin. They can follow the core. But if they fall behind, you don't stop. If they can't maintain pace, they become outer circle by default. Outer circle. Expendable. Let me be clear about what this means. These people get nothing unless surplus exists. No medicine, no food allocation, no protection. They can tag along using their own resources. But when those run out, that's it. You don't share core supplies with outer circle. Ever. That's not cruelty. That's math. Every calorie you give to outer circle comes directly from core survival time. Your 73-year-old mother with diabetes and heart disease? Outer circle. She's consuming medication that won't exist in 2 weeks. She can't walk significant distances. She provides no survival skills. That's not a judgment on her worth as a person. That's an assessment of her impact on group survival. Without insulin, she's dead in 3 weeks anyway. With insulin, she's consuming resources that could sustain a core member for months. Your brother who weighs 340 pounds? Outer circle. He needs 4,000 calories daily just to maintain basic function. That's twice what a fit adult needs. He can't run, can't climb, can't carry supplies. He's a resource multiplier in the wrong direction. Every day he survives costs 2 days of someone else's survival. Medical triage gets specific. Antibiotics go to core members only. Pain medication goes to injuries that prevent movement, not comfort. Chronic conditions requiring daily medication automatically disqualify someone from core status. Type 1 diabetes, heart conditions requiring blood thinners, psychiatric medications, thyroid medications. If you need it daily and can't manufacture it, your outer circle. The medication runs out, you die. The group moves on. That's the protocol. Information is ammunition. Once selections are made, operational security becomes everything. Every person who knows your plan is a potential leak. Every leak is a threat multiplier. Your supplies become someone else's target. Your bug-out location becomes someone else's destination. Your carefully calculated survival margins evaporate because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. Need-to-know basis starts with your own family. Your outer circle mother doesn't need to know there's a food cache. She just needs to follow when you say follow. Your extended circle brother doesn't need to know the real rally point. Give him a secondary location. If he makes it there and proves stable, you can retrieve him. If he doesn't, you haven't compromised your primary position. Social media is intelligence hemorrhaging. Your sister posts about getting prepared. Your brother shares survival articles. Your wife tells her book club you're stockpiling food. Congratulations! You've just advertised your resources to 300 people who will remember when they're desperate. Digital silence isn't paranoia, it's survival discipline. No posts, no photos, no casual mentions. Your preparations don't exist online. The extended family problem compounds everything. Your wife's sister asks what you're planning. Your cousin wants to coordinate. Your uncle suggests pooling resources. Every coordination is a security breach. Every person brought into confidence is a multiplication of risk. They tell their spouses. Spouses tell friends. Friends become threats when hungry. Supply caches require deception even within your core. Tell one person the location. Tell another person the inventory. Tell a third person the access method. Nobody gets the complete picture except you. If someone breaks under pressure or trades information for resources, they can only compromise one aspect, not the entire cache. Your bug-out location stays absolutely secret, not family secret, not don't tell anyone. Absolutely secret. The moment 2 people know, security is compromised. Create false trails. Talk about heading north while planning to go south. Mention your uncle's cabin while preparing an entirely different location. Deception isn't lying to your family. It's protecting them from their own weakness under interrogation. Hour 0. The announcement. Emergency broadcast confirms what you already knew was coming. Missiles inbound, grid attack imminent, or supply chain collapse confirmed. Whatever the trigger, the clock starts now. You don't panic. You don't discuss. You execute the plan you've already made. That's the difference between the 10% and the dead. Hour 1 to 6. The denial phase. While everyone else is glued to their screens waiting for updates, you're moving. First priority, maximum cash withdrawal from every account. ATMs will be empty by hour 8. Banks will close by hour 12. Electronic payment dies with the grid. Cash becomes king for exactly 72 hours before it becomes worthless paper. Use it while desperate people still believe in it. Hour 6 to 12. Communication cascade begins. Cell towers overload. Internet slows, then stops. Your last functional window for digital contact. Send your code phrases. Activate rally points. Download offline maps if you haven't already. After hour 12, Assume all digital communication is compromised or dead. Hour 12:24. Supply exhaustion accelerates. Grocery stores are empty. Gas stations are dry. Pharmacies are looted. If you're trying to gather supplies now, you're already dead. You're fighting armed crowds for scraps. The prepared are already at their secondary positions while the masses destroy each other over the last case of water. Hour 24:48. Infrastructure enters cascade failure. Water pressure drops, then stops. Power flickers if it hasn't died already. Sewage systems back up. The comfortable realize they're 4 meals from murder. Violence transitions from opportunistic to organized. Groups form. Territories establish. If you're still in populated areas, your survival probability drops 20% per hour. Hour 48 to 72. The goodbye protocols. If someone hasn't reached the rally point, they're not coming. You don't wait. You don't send search parties. You execute the prearranged message drop if safe. Then you move. Every hour beyond 72, you remain static increases detection probability. Movement is life. Sentiment is death. Final medical actions before displacement. Double-dose antibiotics for anyone with infection symptoms. Prophylactic antidiarrheals for everyone. Maximum dose pain management for anyone injured. Seal all wounds, regardless of severity. There won't be treatment options where you're going. What you carry is what you have. You have this information now. Right now. Today. Not after the missiles launch. Not when the grid fails. Not when your neighbors turn desperate. Now while your family is alive and comfortable and capable of rational thought. That's your advantage. That's your window. And it's closing. 90% of families will never have this conversation. They'll wait for the crisis, then try to figure it out while their cortisol is spiking, and their mother is crying, and their brother is panicking. They'll make every wrong decision in sequence. Share resources equally until everyone starves. Try to save everyone until everyone dies. Choose based on love instead of logistics. Dead in 2 weeks, maybe 3 if they're lucky. The other 10% will have already done the math, already made the selections, already established protocols. They won't be deciding during the crisis. They'll be executing decisions they already made. That's the difference between emotional reaction and strategic action. Between group death and group survival. The choice is binary. There's no middle position. You either have this conversation tonight or you don't. You either fill out that spreadsheet this weekend or you don't. You either assign family members to circles based on survival probability, or you pretend everyone's equal until everyone's dead. Here's your first action. Tonight, after dinner, you say these exact words. I need to talk to you about emergency planning. Not I want to. Need to. That word carries weight. When they resist, and they will resist, you push through. When they get uncomfortable, and they will get uncomfortable, you continue. When someone storms out, and someone will storm out, you document their position as non-participant and plan accordingly. Or you can close this video and pretend you didn't hear this. Pretend your family is different. Pretend love is enough. Pretend the 90% aren't already corpses waiting for confirmation. Your family's survival or death is being decided right now, in this moment, by what you do in the next 24 hours. Class dismissed.